So should be able to hear us any second.
Oh, science stuff.
So we will wait to hear confirmation in chat that they can hear us.
I'm banned from TikTok at the moment. 3-day ban.
What for?
For naming my stalker. They had a stalker who called himself the same as me, basically, and had my profile picture and was just mental and chatting and pretending that I'd lost my account and befriended female followers of mine and was just chatting to me messenger. It was weird. The creepier thing was he wasn't even saying creepy stuff. It was like, oh, how are you? So I've lost my account. Yeah, he was just setting the groundwork before he went ultra creepy. And I made this video like, that's not me. And then it's like people going, what? No, that's not me.
I've had some companies contact me to, is this you? And it's an email basically saying, give me free shit, please. I'll review it. And I'm like, no, that's not me. I've had that, and I've had people using my profile picture on a few YouTube things, but
that's what somebody did. They just took a screenshot and used the screenshot as their profile picture.
They've never reached out to my friends or anything like that, though, you know.
Was only one of my friends sent me a message saying, oh, I didn't know you lost your account, mate. And I said, I haven't. And they went, what? And I was like, that's not me. Because John left of the countryside. That says John left 0F countryside. You just read it wrong. And they were like, oh, who's that? No fucking idea. A mental case. You're now mates with them. You don't know if they can hear us. Can they?
They reckon they can. They are Stuart said he could.
Someone's choked on a grape, but I think they're alive. I think they've made it.
Frankie. Yeah.
Frankie Boyle?
No,
it wasn't. I thought it was... Yeah, they can all hear us. No,
Frankie
can they? Oh, we hear you. We hear you, Stuart. We hear you. Dion hears. Let's do it.
Yeah. All right, let's go. Welcome to the new Ohm Show chapter. What chapter is it? 68.
I had the giggles when we came
up. John's set himself off already.
It's Paul. Paul going.
I was wondering how we do things like roll intro. Just using OBS, the software package, piece of cake. Yes, and there's a lot you can do with it, and there's a lot we don't bother to do, but we do roll an intro, which is nice. So that's nice. Good. That wee Scottish voice you can hear is the very Paul McCartney from Vape Don't Smoke, special guest host. You're on the feed. You are at the bottom.
I'm at the bottom. 3's on top of me. It's the first time I've had 2 English people on top of me.
No. But
we don't talk about that.
They were lovely policemen, to be fair.
They were quite gentle.
They were very gentle. They held your head down so you didn't bang it on the Sierra. So Paul's with us. John's here as well. I should explain the title. Oh, title's not on that screen. But it's called The Last Thursday. So just in case anyone's clicked into that as a sort of, it seemed a bit clickbaity. It's not so much that, it's just that we're moving the show from Thursdays to Wednesdays after this show. So this is the last time it will be on a Thursday live. You can still watch it on a Thursday if you want, on catch up. But we're moving to Wednesdays because there's just too many. Basically, we think there's just too many live vape shows starting on a Thursday evening.
I did say to you the other day, I haven't told the most important person, my wife. And I said,
so this is all proposed at the bottom.
No, it's fine. I said to her, darling, just let you know, we're thinking of moving the show from a Thursday to a Wednesday. And she went, I don't care. And I went, perfect. And I love you too.
Yeah. There's just loads of shows on. I looked at while we were streaming last week, and there was like 4 other shows on just on my subscription feed. So God knows how many actual the ones there are. So it's just for that reason, really. Just traffic. I don't know who invented this rule that all vape shows have to be on Thursday.
We did.
If we end up clashing with someone else, I don't know what we can do. I think there's always going to be a vape show on, so sorry if we clash with anyone else.
We do clash. I think we now clash with 3 men in a vape. I think.
Oh, yeah, there's that one as well, but
there's less to clash with. We got less to clash.
Yeah, exactly. So we'll try the Wednesdays. So we'll give those a try.
Perfect.
Men a vape not 8 till 9.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Yeah. All right. We're clear.
We're still doing 9 till 10, and
yeah. We're like 9 till 10:30.
And the Devil Vapor moved his to Mondays.
Okay.
So that works out great as well. So yeah, we'll try it. We'll try Wednesday. Hope you can join us on Wednesday. We did a thing on the group 9 p.m. on Wednesday SVR. Yeah, we did a thing on the group, a little polly thing, and everyone seemed cool with it. So we'll see how it goes. That's the reason for that. Put that to one side. That was just a little bit of side news. We've got a cracking show. We've got news from the vaping world. We've got news from the real world. We have got a special quiz for our special guest. And we have got new vape stuff to show you as well. And all that good stuff. So
I've just seen in chat, EVL John is in chat. The creator of the Wraith is in chat.
Unbelievable.
Which has been released this week. Look at that.
Mr. Evil.
And it looks very pretty if we get
and tiny.
Very, very
my favourite manufacturer of stuff. He was very honest. I sent him pictures of my prototype, and he totally told me it was shite.
Oh, are you working on something?
No, it was just I had an idea about 2 years ago or something, and then I was like to John, I was like, John, why don't you make this for me? And he told me it was a terrible idea.
I like you went in boots first.
I might send my idea to John, because I have an idea, and I genuinely don't know if it will work or not. And maybe he will know if it'll work.
John's going, fucking dicks.
Well, you can just tell me if it won't work.
It will, because it was polite enough to say, Paul, it's a shit idea. So
he's a sinister fucker. I've met him, but I didn't know that because he didn't tell me. I don't know his name.
They've started appearing in the group. Look the new tanks. Look, look at that. It's on a tiny mech as well, so it's uber tiny setup.
The Wrath.
Yeah.
Scared him off.
Anyway, so that's that. Right. So that's all the stuff coming up. John, what are you vaping? What are you drinking? I
am vaping on. I just filled this and got an Airlock, which is the first time I thought I'd try and fill it right to the brim. I am. I was going to say vaping. Sorry, I was going to say this.
Who was that reviewer that used to say that?
What vaping?
Wape.
I'm vaping right now.
I am Swedish guy.
Vaping, yeah, that because that's
Owen. Something like that.
That makes sense, doesn't it?
Wait.
That's the way they do letters. This is the Whirl S.
It's a quacking wape.
It's a quacking wape. With its little tiny tank thing. I've been using this since the show last week. I thought I'd give it a week, and the coil has lasted longer than the Inikin. The new Inikin Endura tank coil.
UN2 coils, isn't it? I love them. I think they're excellent. They've got so many variations of it. The UN, is it UN2 or Uni 2?
Yes, Uni 2, something like that. Yeah.
Uni 2. Because I'm starting to freak out that I might not be able to get my Crown 4 Uni 2 coils anymore. So I bought a massive batch of them last week. Hundreds of them.
The only thing I had one issue with it, and it took the hit. Had a slight gurgle, and I thought, I know what I'll do. You know the old bless you kind of thing? I did that above our butler's sink, and if you do that, the tank flies out.
The whip test.
Hit the inside of the sink. Luckily emptied.
But it twists, locks in, doesn't it?
The bayonet doesn't do anything, no. It just goes on to stop you doing much with it.
Right.
Like that. But it doesn't look. If I've got it full lock twist on, no, it doesn't do anything.
Okay.
No, I've just moved it as well. Yeah, it doesn't know.
Okay, fair enough.
No. Anyway, if you flick it, it'll go fucking flying. Which is what it did. But that's it. It's been brilliant. For what it is, the Whirl S shouldn't work. I put it on Instagram the other day and I said, this should be something I say shit. And I don't. And the draw, because you can fire it with a button like that, or you can take a drag. But it works. It's a decent air switch. Just coughed. And I've got that in that. I've got MoMA, 50 milligram MoMA in there, and I've got 50 milligram lemon crack in the Glass 16 on top of those. It's bad that I can remember the word less, but I can't remember this. Chroma R, which has taken a few drops. Everything I own takes a few drops. Yeah. And in the glass in front of me, I've got that in that. I've got Hop, Skip and Juice by Vocation in a glass. It was £12.50 for 12 beers. Amazon Prime. So I just got it like £1. What? Bargain. It's normally £2.10 a can. Oh, man.
Jolly good.
Paul, what are you vaping? What are you drinking?
Well, I've got a Budweiser. Nice.
I knew you were going to say that. Do you know what? I knew you were going to say
beers.
fucking Bud.
King of beer.
I also have a nice Italian beer. You know, I've got to get my Italian kick on right now. You know,
Yeah.
That's such beer Moretti is such a weird one because it isn't even the price of shit beer. It's actually like it for a shit beer. It's quite expensive. In a pub, they lie and go, it's Italian, so it's £6 a pint. Not the fact it tastes like urine. They just go, no, it's £6. It's Italian.
Well, yeah, I'm all full on Italian for the next few days. I do have. I've got my little. What's this got?
I didn't even get the joke because I didn't watch football and it just took that long to click. And it's like, what?
So Italy will be the 5th team I've supported this year's European team.
Yeah.
But I'm vaping on my Drag X Plus with the Hussar Ugar or Ug.
That's got a nice setup. I like it.
Yeah, it's a nice setup.
Yeah, inside this I've got the new Rockford Project's lemon meringue tart. It's quite nice.
Nice.
I've also got my trusted. You tend to know never see me without one of these things, but I've got the old Tesla Dual 21700 Beast with my Crown 3 Uni 2 coil, and in that's got some juice and power. My watermelon gummy bears, which is just about finished. And for my sins, and I'm not even sorry to do it, but I'm vaping on this little Vilter still. I think it's absolutely fantastic. And I've got just a shameless plug. I've got my Macca's RY4 in this, which is just a perfect combination. See if you're looking, it's just so real. It's mental. Excellent. And that's it.
Macca's RY4. It's like,
yeah, this is that's the funny story behind this. I used to, when I first started vaping, I started on Hang Seng RY.
oh, I know. He made me hurl. The first time I ever tried it, I nearly threw a white. It is blindingly horrible.
Well, I actually liked it. And
Yeah, it's one of those things. Yeah, but I was vaping like Texas tobacco, so there was no connoisseur or anything. I just don't know why there was something in it that made me go. Ugh.
Yeah, well, so it was very, very difficult to get a good RY4 when all the flavours started. But then just Les, you know, God rest his soul, he's I said to him, going to make me one, going to make me a good RY4, and he did. And it's actually their top selling juice in the store, and they've actually just put it through the TPD compliant stuff. So the 10ml bottle you're actually going to start seeing in other shops.
Oh, cool.
Which I thought was pretty cool. So I think I should have probably negotiated a better contract with Les. But yeah, it's he made it for me using his fancy tobacco leaves and all that great stuff. So it's an amazing juice, and yeah, I miss my life.
Well, so he made it like net. He made it.
Yeah. It's fan. It's got Virginia net, tobacco leaves, and then he brewed it all up. And,
I was going to say, there's fuck all tobacco leaves in a Hang Seng RY4.
Yeah, I mean, even now though, the Hang Seng RY4 is horrendous. It's just, you just wonder how you vaped this stuff back in the day. But
I assume it's really fucking dirty as well.
Yeah.
That one.
Probably.
I assume it pretty black wicks in about 10 seconds, like now, because we don't do that to it.
But I think people don't realise what we what we started on back in the day. They're so spoiled.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know, you used to get blueberry flavour. Now you get blueberry cheesecake with chocolate sprinkles. You know,
Yeah.
it's crazy. But yeah, so that's what I'm vaping on.
Richardionio, what are you vaping and what are you drinking? If he's got a fucking bud as well.
I have drinking this United Planet.
Oh, is that any good?
Brewdog. Yeah, it's good. It's good, and it's on offer at the moment, so it was very affordable. Yeah, it's nice. It's a session hazy IPA.
Did you feel there was a toxic management system? Did it taste a bit like that?
I mean, it's a tricky one, that, isn't it?
Oh yeah, I agree. I've had Brewdog since. Well, we went to a Brewdog pub and left because I saw the chef eat a chip and wipe his nose with the back of his hand, and I was like, yeah, I don't want to eat now. I'm good.
Yeah, I'm not a big fan of Brewdog anymore, but this was a cheapy.
I heard that they pissed off a lot of people with their gold can.
Oh yeah, they're constantly. It's almost like deliberately bad newsing, just to get in the news.
What I didn't understand with that brass cax, it was brass, wasn't it? What I didn't understand with the whole thing is I thought the Brewdog were going to buy it off you for 15,000. If you got one of the special cans, you said, "I've got the special can," and they gave you 15 grand cash. I didn't think that the can was supposed to be worth 15,000.
Yeah, I think that's what, and it's not.
No,
in terms of what it's made of, but they say that it is because it's such a rare item. But yeah, I mean, who's got 15 grand to buy a gold can? It's madness.
There was one guy in the paper who found out it wasn't worth a lot. Said, "I'm really gutted because I really wanted a £15,000 thing to put on the mantelpiece." You need the money. You need the money, mate. You want that can to be worth it. Anyone with the fucking mindset of wanting a solid gold Brewdog can to put on their mantelpiece is clearly a penis. And I just
it's something like I bought a case of beer, and you're like, well, do you not buy a case of beer every week anyway? It was
He bought 2 cases of beer, and no, 2 packs of 6, and then one was in there. And he was like, I was really trying. I was like, mate, that's not even a Tuesday.
Yeah, exactly. It wasn't like you came out with like, you know what, I just spent £5,000 on 500 cans of lager to win this thing. It was like, I bought 2 cases. You're like, bought 2 cases? That's breakfast.
Yeah. Sorry, Richard, we went right in on you there.
No, it's okay. So I'm drinking that, and I've got one of those 4 packs of that in the little box thing. Switched up my vapes a little bit. I got the Arbiter on the Mustang with current crack in there, but I've now got the Screamer on the Reaver with lemon Madeira cake. And I've now got the Dead Rabbit on the Gaia with Fantasy Mango.
You weren't showing that last week.
I've since found out that loads of vape shops have now the country stock this, and it's
got done for it. Didn't they? I don't even understand it anymore.
At all. Apparently it's not taboo at all. This juice.
It is, because Coca-Cola gave a cease and desist, didn't they? But I don't think that's them now. I think somebody else.
Yeah, I think this is like a copy of that copy or something. I don't
know.
Yeah,
yeah. They were really I know Coca-Cola got a cease and desist out for Fanta. It's like
very strange. And then I've got the OG Recoil on Matt Cully's mold as well, and with that I have the Gaffer Orange. That's from TYV, the Yorkshire Vapor. So that is that. That is what I am vaping and drinking. John.
Yes, sir.
Has any non-vaping news caught your eye this week?
Non-vaping news? Probably the 19th thing. Was that this week or was that last week? This week.
The Freedom Day. Confirmed.
Freedom Day. Like he should never have called it that, but there we go.
So it's going to be the 19th, is it?
So they say. Yeah. Well, they in the Lancet today, 100 leading scientists and doctors wrote Boris Johnson a letter saying, "Dear Bellend," and then there was some other stuff. I didn't read the rest.
Your Freedom Day is not the same day, though, is it, Paul?
No, 9th of August, I think. It's a
Yeah.
Monday. And then I don't think it's going to be...
Gives you exactly 2 weeks to analyse ours.
Probably. And I think it's not going to be it's not a Freedom Day. There'll be lots of different...
Right.
We're loosening of things, but it won't just be, right, guys, it's over, let's go and...
Didn't they got the name Freedom Day, shit for brains, Captain Dipshit got the name from the end of apartheid, didn't he? Freedom Day. It's quite good.
Did he coin it that, or did the press coin it that?
It's always hard to tell because he starts doing it after they do.
Yes, I know.
So when the Sun misunderstood what Captain Hindsight is in South Park and called Keir Starmer that, Boris started doing it after the Sun had done it, and it still doesn't make any sense.
Yeah. The trick that I think they've missed the most. I do sort of. I do have a foot in both camps in terms of, cases are increasing like crazy. Yet we're still coming out, which is odd. But yet the death rate hasn't gone up. It's very difficult. But the one trick I think they've missed, with Freedom Day, is they should have kept masks.
Yeah, I do agree.
Why? It's such a simple, easy thing.
It's done, and the cat's out of the bag now because I've been in shops and people aren't wearing masks.
It just seems so easy to keep them. It's almost harder to not keep them.
How do you put the cat in the bag? Well, like, if you're the shop owner and you go, "Sorry, mate, you've got to keep wearing them till the 19th." Will there be less cases on the 19th? No. Why then?
Yeah,
that's it.
But
that's what we're going with.
It's going to cause actual social disturbances.
Yeah, it really will.
It could be, like if it's two people on a bus, one's got a mask on, he'll be unhappy if the other doesn't, and vice versa.
They said socially distance
about it.
They said socially distance if you want, and I was thinking, how does that work in a queue? So if you want to leave like a meter between you and the person in front, fine, but the person behind's not in on it. They don't care. They'll be just right behind you. It's no point.
They want us to act responsibly.
You can wear a mask if you want to wear a mask, but I mean, it's the wearing the mask is supposed to protect other people, so it's a bit weird that you're like, well, am I a dick if I don't wear one because I don't want to protect other people?
I don't know. I think if I'm in the shop, I probably will. And no one's coming in my shop with it. No one's coming in my shop without.
If I was getting a bus or a train, I'd definitely wear one.
Can you do that, John? Make the rule just like you need.
Yeah, it's my shop. I can refuse service. So just fuck off. It says on the door. There's a blue sign on the door, that proper one that says masks only. Like that you need a mask to enter. And nobody's got a problem with it. Everybody's been fine. Like it doesn't. It never even comes up anyway, and it won't come up
after because people stop carrying them.
Well, that's the problem, isn't it?
Well, they'll enjoy standing outside.
If it's not a legal thing, can you still force them to do
it? You can because it's your property.
Yeah, it's fine.
I mean, like there was some supermarkets debating keeping it.
Well, but
then
Ryanair
they just thought the money and just thought, we better.
Ryanair, EasyJet, Virgin, BA, they've all kept masks, haven't they? If you fly, you have to wear a mask while you fly. They'll let you on.
So yeah, there was that. Anything else?
What else in the news? It
was the football.
Yeah,
were you on the edge of your seat, Paul, last night watching the football?
Yes. I was slightly aggressive when Raheem took a swimming pool dive. I didn't think it was a penalty. I didn't like it, but to be honest, I thought he's the better team. He's have got a good team. I mean, it's a good team, but which I hate saying, but you are still shit.
Yeah.
My wife watched it. I got in trouble with her because there was a bit. They were all in the penalty box. There was a cross in, right across the goal mouth. No one to receive it. And I went, "Where are you? Come on, where are you?" And my wife went, "John, that's Denmark." And I went, "I know." And then she was really angry with me because I was like, "Just shut the gammon up."
England do sometimes wear red. It is confusing.
No, I wasn't confused for a second. I wanted Denmark to score because I wanted all the gammon to fuck off. I just had enough of their bullshit.
Yeah, it's not just the Scots that wanted Denmark to win. There's loads of champagne liberals.
There's lots of people as well
that wanted Denmark to win just to upset Gammon.
Yeah, someone said, "Did you hear the cheering from your house?" I was like, "You don't know where I live." No one's shouting shit around here.
Yeah,
people kind of going in their house going, I think they did awfully well.
I thought it was with the Sterling penalty shout. I thought it was very difficult to see whether it was definitely a penalty or not. I can see why the ref thought it was in real time. I'm surprised VAR didn't do something about it. But what I would say is, I thought Harry Kane's was a penalty just before that. And apparently, according to the Daily Mail today, and I've followed football for a very long time, and I have no idea what they're on about here. But apparently, Denmark's goal shouldn't have counted.
Was that an indirect free kick?
Because no, that's far too sensible. It's because Denmark formed a wall themselves next to England's wall, and that isn't allowed.
That's down to the refs, though, isn't it?
If
he didn't call
when a free kick is taken, an attacking team player is less than 1 yard from a wall formed by 3 or more defending players, an indirect free kick is awarded. So apparently there's some sort of rule that stops you forming a wall next to a wall. I never knew that. So yeah.
The referee probably didn't even know that.
Well, exactly.
But with or without that, it was, yeah, it's like I looked up a couple of times from pissing around on my phone to watch it. And I will say that little lad, I think he's only like 20 and he plays for Denmark, it was a fucking cracking goal. Like it was.
Oh, the free kick.
Free kick was fucking off the chart.
Hit it so clean. I was disappointed with our goalie's positioning, but absolutely smashed it, didn't he? It's it's a bit of a shame that
that was his first goal conceded.
Bit of a shame that the England fans let us down a bit.
See, I think to be honest, that and I don't want to
booed the anthem. There was the laser thing.
See, my subscriber numbers going down by about half here, but I think that's half the reason why so many countries want England to lose, because there is that element of
how much COVID was going around that stadium last night as well. I was just watching it, going, "You've got Delta. There's no way you haven't. You're fucked." There's like 10,000 people coming out of this. Yeah,
if they weren't there, they'd be in the pub hugging each other and.
Oh yeah, everyone was up there.
And if they weren't in the pub, they'd all be in each other's house.
I think we're going to have to shift the football just because I can just see no one's talking about football.
Yeah, well, that was the real life news. What's in the vape news, John?
Let me bring it up. Let me get it up. That's what she said. Oh, we got the Scotsman.
Do you want a Scotsman on the show today? You know.
Oh yeah, and I said I don't like football.
Are you sure you want a Scotsman on your show today after the football?
No, I thought you. I think you were fair in your assessment.
Yeah, I know. I said I don't like football anyway. At least you watch it. Poor Richard. I don't know fucking anyone on the field. Don't care either. As I say, I looked up a couple of times when people shout with stuff, and then my wife did a couple of like "way" and all that crap, and I was like, "Oh, fair enough." Yep. Looks like fun. I remember watching a little bit of the football last night, and somebody said something midfielder, and I promise I'm 40, and I thought, now I know the word midfielder. I don't know what the fuck that means. And I thought, I could Google it. And then I thought, I don't fucking care. And so I didn't.
Yeah.
That's how much I care about football. I was like, yeah, I know what that... No, I don't know what that means. Fuck it, I don't care. It means middle.
Middle of the fielder.
But I meant I don't know what the fuck they do. And I don't care.
They just run around in the middle.
Anyway, we've got an article from the Scotsman, because we've got a Scotsman on board. Or Scotchman, as I say.
Oh, is this a Scottish thing?
Yeah, it is. Edinburgh, right? I actually think this is a shit story, but like a bad idea, but this is the Scotsman. Edinburgh vaping firm VPZ wraps off first vape clinic. Edinburgh-based vaping firm VPZ will push. Here we go. We'll push ahead with its vaping clinic rollout, launching a pilot outlet in the capital. The facility is opened within the group's flagship Newbridge store, and plans are now in place to roll out the service across the entire retail estate in the coming months. Bosses said the clinic concept had been introduced to meet the growing demand for smoking cessation help, as access to local services and vaping retailers were massively reduced during lockdown. What they're trying to do, I think, is set themselves up to avoid another lockdown, which they won't, because it's not a clinic in a legal sense. They just made it look like one. if there was a further lockdown, they wouldn't have to lock down because then they would be an essential service, which they won't manage to do.
Right.
That's number one. And number two, they're trying to get on with the NHS Stop Smoking Service, which I assume it's NHS Scotland Stop Smoking Service, which they won't do either because that's not how things work. You can't lobby the health service directly. Anyway,
you can ask them.
Yeah, but they can say, fuck off. VPZ is the UK's leading vape specialist, and we're spearheading the fight against the nation's number one killer, smoking. That's not true, by the way. It's actually heart disease, so he's wrong.
Paul, is this like a big chain in Scotland?
It's big. It's big in the UK. VPZ. Yeah, you see, everybody does that, but weirdly, they've got more. No, I totally agree. Right, they've got more outlets than anybody else, but no one's fucking heard of them. Because what they did, in business terms, what they did was they grew incredibly quickly while no one was looking, and fuck knows how much they're in debt. Because what they did was they built up some capital, borrowed against it, and they've got like 150 stores nationwide. I'm sure someone will give me the figure.
Stalls in shopping centres?
No.
Oh.
They are shops. They've got one in Felix, though. I think there might be one in Colchester. Everyone thinks they basically sell generic shit, and their liquids generic shit, and that's what they sell. They don't sell anybody else's liquids. They sell
a right bunch of cunts.
They sell their own. But what makes it more cunty is the things like this. This is what when I saw this today, I was like, I fucking hate you so much. There aren't words to describe how much I fucking hate you.
What?
The idea just try to make it look like a clinic.
Yeah, you should never paint your door the same colour as the wall. I will be constantly trying to open a wall.
I remember staying at a hotel.
Imagine
once
a partly sighted smoker.
When they'd done that in a hotel. When we moved around, we're on a holiday. We've been to like 6 hotels on one holiday, and I got to this. We were in this room, and I'd only had a few drinks, not that many. Went to bed, woke up, and I was just trying to pull off the wall because I was like, and all I got was a voice go, "Don't piss on the door," which I've never ever done. I'm not one of those people, but just my wife in bed go, "Don't piss on the door." I wasn't going. I can't work out where the door is. Like being a shit Batman. So that was the first tale. I don't know what people think of them. Nobody chat. I think it's a real delay on chat and shit. That makes it sound like it needs to be regulated by the NHS, says Andrew George. That's totally true.
Yeah, that's the danger. That is the danger.
Yeah, that's what they're trying to do, and that we know that we don't want that.
Sticking the beak in.
Fucking yeah. They're already trying to sell a shit that doesn't work. We don't need that, and don't need them needing a medical license to sell it. A pharmaceutical license, which would be a pain in the ass, right? I really like this headline. It made me laugh. It's from The Conversation. Just a bit of a debate point. Smoke screens is the thing. Vaping on film looks less glamorous than the Hollywood smoking of yesteryear. The murder investigation hits another dead end. Tired and frustrated, the detective stomps out of the station. She stares into the middle distance, forcefully sucking on a vape and expelling smoky puffs. Actor Kate Winslet has smoked on screen before, but not like this. And I wanted to say that I agree with the premise. I don't think... But that's quite good.
What I would say is smoking doesn't look as glamorous on screen as it used to.
I still think it's got a pull to it.
But I don't know, I think of those classic films where it looked really cool.
I think the James Bond movies kind of highlighted it a lot. You know, Sean Connery when he used to get with the tuxedo on and he was...
Yeah. Or a villain or...
Always a villain.
Or like Casino or... There's a certain class to it. It was gravitas. Now it's... The characters as portrayed as smokers now has shifted. The paradigm has shifted.
Bruce Willis smoked in all 3 Die Hards, didn't he?
Yeah, not going 5, but yeah, all 3, first 3.
Yeah.
Sorry, the ones that count.
Yeah,
the ones that were good. I actually liked 4, but it was definitely a different direction. They were it was Rambo in 4, wasn't it?
I remember 3 is one of the most poignant ones in my memory. So I remember going to the cinema to watch Die Hard with a Vengeance, and thinking, oh, it's really good. But yeah, they smoked all the way through, and you did think when you're a kid, you did think he's cool. That's why. And I don't think it does have the same pull. And I don't know if anyone's seen.
But that's okay, isn't it? That's probably
yeah.
a good thing.
That's what I mean. But that was the discussion. Is it? I think it is a good thing. I think then it becomes not a character thing. Like
Kate Winslet is a vapor. She's literally just insisted they write it in.
Have you seen Mare?
No.
Oh, she's got like a CE5 thing, and she sucks it like she's getting paid to suck it. Like when she comes out of a murder investigation, she's okay. I don't want to do it with this because I don't want to break my head.
Used to using her,
but she's like,
it
really goes for it.
I think there was the James Bond movie with Pierce Brosnan and Halle Berry. You know, the one where he flies the helicopter upside down. Yeah. That movie, he actually smoked a cigar in it. And I think that there was a lot of negative. He got a lot of negative press on it because
on what film was that? Sorry.
The world is not.
Is that not the one with?
No, let me check.
Christmas in it.
Pierce Brosnan, did you say?
Pierce Brosnan. Yeah.
Tomorrow Never Dies. That's
the one where he spends most of it on a bike.
Oh, is it?
The one with Halle Berry. The one that he gets. The world's not enough. I think you're right, Richard. I think he gets captured at the start of it, but he was sitting on the beach and he's smoking a cigar and she comes out to sea. But he's
Die Another Day.
Die Another Day. Well, they get a lot of negative criticism for that because they're portraying Bond as being cool smoking a cigar, and they came back saying we don't inhale cigars, so what's the problem? But they've not had that James Bond smoking since.
Fucking cigar's nice. Well, back in the day when I smoked, like I did, if somebody packed like 3 Cubans, that was a good day. That was a really
something
good
about it. It was just.
It tastes fucking amazing, doesn't it? No, yeah, but when they're 30 quid each, they taste good. Weird, isn't it? It's like when people say, why do you drink expensive scotch? Try cheap scotch and tell me again why you fucking do it.
Never drink cheap booze.
It's not worth it. Smoking fetish is a thing, this is Andy Fairchild. I've yet to see a vaping on Pornhub. I think you're not checking hard enough. I bet there is.
Oh, probably.
And that was just a discussion point because I thought it was quite good. We got something from the Manchester Evening News by Mr. A. Burnham. That was just a joke. It's a twat. Would you know, says the headline, if your child was vaping?
Oof.
Warnings as 11-year-olds caught buying vapes.
If they suddenly started, bringing chicks home and looking cool.
Children as young as 11 have been purchasing vapes in Rochdale, it's been revealed. Parents have been urged to look out for items which can easily be mistaken for highlighter pens. Rochdale Council said its trading standards team had received several reports of children buying the products.
Well, just punish whoever sold them.
The council said, would you know if your child was vaping?
No.
Unlike cigarettes, vapes don't leave a smell and can easily be mistaken for highlighter pens. Just like cigarettes.
The room, you walk into your child's room, it's all foggy, then
they're blowing O's.
You can smell strawberry cheesecake. It's not like
has young Colin started baking in his room.
Should smell like desperation, jizz, and sweat. Sorry, they won't. They would urge parents and carers to look out for these items. That's the highlighter pens. If you become aware of any premises selling children to vapes to children to vape, please report it in confidence to trade standards. They've got a picture of some disposable vapes as part of the article. Have you got it on the screen?
Yeah.
I've never seen those fucking things in my life.
No, but I'm sure they exist.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
There's a lot of that style around.
Yeah, I once had a phone call from my friend in guitar. I think
it's pronounced guitar.
And he was worried about his students who are vaping and they weren't supposed to, but they're 18, because he's an A-level teacher. But he rang me to ask me if there was any like giveaways. And I was like, no. And his head teacher had told him that some of the girls were hiding them in their bras, and he said, and that's where they'll stay. Like, what the fuck do you want me to do about that?
Well, yeah, it doesn't matter. Let the kids vape.
I said to him, forget it. You haven't got a chance. Like, there's no way. You could tell. Yeah, that was when Juul was the thing, the vape of choice, and they're tiny. You know, you could stick them anywhere. Now that's it. Yeah, they're gone, aren't they? This is the last thing. It's quite interesting, I think, from the New York Times, which is about Juul. The New York Times says Juul is fighting to keep its e-cigarettes on the US market at all. The company faces declining sales and thousands of lawsuits claiming it knowingly sold its trendy vaping products to minors. Soon, that is ORS, not miners, not coal miners, gold miners, miners. Soon the FDA will decide whether it can keep selling them at all. Sales have plunged by $5,000 million. The workforce has been cut by 3/4. Operations in 14 countries have been abandoned. Many state and local lobbying campaigns have seen shut down. Juul Labs, the once high-flying e-cigarette company that became a public health villain to many people over its role in the teenage vaping surge, has been operating as a shadow of its former self, spending the pandemic largely out of the public eye in what it calls reset mode. Now, its very survival is at stake as it mounts an all-out campaign to persuade the Food and Drug Administration to allow it to continue selling its products in the United States. It's really funny because they never managed to get a foothold in the UK because the TPDR had already come in. You can only stick to the 20 milligram pods rather than the 50 milligram pods that they're using in the US. And Juul just never took off in the UK because it was an outdated piece of shit when it hit the market. And like, I know from our point of view, we were talking to US vape reviewers and vape people, and we just couldn't see why the fuck anyone would go near it. Piece of shit cartridge thing with a fucking nichrome coil, bit of fiberglass as a wick. It was a piece of shit.
Not give the store owners like a lot of.
Yeah, they tried
that was. Oh yeah. Blue though came in and gave them away for free, didn't they?
Yeah.
They gave them £500 worth of stock for nothing to get them over to Blue. Which is, who's that? Embassy, Imperial Tobacco. And I say Blue was on the back foot because they couldn't use their high nicotine nic salt approach, which they've done all around the world, and that's really what happened. I mean, what a fuck up. Their marketing was stupid. They left their diaries open in the FDA, and many, first state court cases gone through. So.
Yeah. It's not. We sort of said it a few weeks back. It's not looking good for Juul in general.
No, Andrew George, I fucking
buying shares in them.
I fucking hate Juul. It's but I think that's what the problem they've got in the UK has always been. I don't know a vape reviewer who backed Juul.
No.
That we were always pushing back against them because they were shit. Oh, they did give them away actually though, Paul. You're right, they gave them away for £1, didn't they? When Juul first launched, because I bought one and threw it. I bought one because I'd never would have bought one. I got one for £1 with free postage, and it was exactly what I thought it was going to be. Total shit. Like I
remember Blue were doing it as well, like you said.
But they were using the Von Earl, which, even though that was a piece of crap, was still more advanced than the Juul.
The Juuls are crap.
Yeah,
the Von Earl was
barely changed in 5 years.
Yeah, I just think there's better out there for less money now, so there's just no reason to do it. And you can't refill the pods, which they tried to force us into that, and the TPDR just doesn't do that.
Right, is that all the news?
Just reading Christopher Morrow. Rule number 1: if surprise inspected, eat your diary. I agree.
Everything.
I'm surprised there wasn't one Juul employee whose job wasn't eat the diary a second the FDA turned up. Jeff, you've got one job. I'm on it. Yeah, that's everything.
I remember the Sardo done a video when they went to China and they were visited the Anakin building, and there was a person there that was basically job was just to vape the products, and it was just plain VG they were vaping.
Yeah.
And they were doing it all day, and it's like, fuck that. That can't be good for you. But I remember thinking to myself, that's how do you apply for that job? What's the job description there? Come in and just vape VG all day.
They sort of said in the video that they didn't really believe that that guy does that all the time, and they were kind of just trying to look more officious than they are.
So they've built, I mean, since we've all started vaping, they've built huge simulators that can fake, 1,000 draws in a few hours just to get so they know. Because the coil heads, I mean, there's some big companies which still, be fair, Innokin's latest coil is a piece of shit, and it hasn't been tested enough. And I don't know how it went through quality control. Because
I've had this problem with the coils on and off throughout, to be honest.
Yeah, it's just bad. It's just
So
terrible.
That guy.
But isn't it bad that the Endura coil, the original, is better than the new one? I just think that's pathetic.
Is that all the news?
Yes.
So is it quiz time?
We've got a quiz for you.
It's called "How Well Does Paul McCartney Know Paul McCartney?"
That's the quiz.
We are questioning you, Paul McCartney, on Paul McCartney, to see what your knowledge of Paul McCartney is like. And by Paul McCartney, obviously, we mean the former Beatle, Paul McCartney, that you share your name with. Should we take it in turns to ask the questions, John?
Yeah, definitely.
We'll do it 100, I think.
We'll do it in quite a speedy fashion.
Yeah, we will.
Okay, I'll go first.
Go for it. You can get some of them.
You'll definitely get some of them.
No, the more disturbed,
They're
the
not
funnier it becomes.
criminally difficult questions. Right, so this is how well does Paul McCartney know
Paul McCartney?
Right, question 1. In what famous European city was Paul McCartney born?
Glasgow.
No, Liverpool.
You knew that. Come on, Paul. Come on. How many kids has Paul McCartney got?
3?
5.
3 was a good guess, though.
It was a good guess. It was good. I would not have known that.
What decade was Paul McCartney born in?
60s?
No, 40s.
Come on, Paul. Come on.
You don't have to get this next one spot on.
I'm not getting any of them.
But within 100 million.
What is Paul McCartney's net worth?
Oh, he's got to be close to 300 or 400 million.
Allegedly, it's 800 million.
Wow. I better go into that family tree again. I did it a few years.
Yeah, definitely. What did Paul McCartney famously respond to a reporter who explained to him there is not 8 days in a week? Do you know this one? He said, "Oh bugger, well it's too late to fix now."
8 days a week. They're brilliant Beatles. What band did he form after the Beatles?
I've no idea.
Oh.
Come, that was.
I don't listen to music. I'm not especially know his.
Wings.
Yeah, it was Wings.
Wings.
This one's not true.
What is Paul McCartney's real name?
Paul McCartney.
It is.
It
I
is.
don't care what he says.
But it's actually Billy Shears.
So there's this rumour.
There's a conspiracy that he died.
That he died, and they swapped him for a lookalike who was called Billy Shears, who won the Paul McCartney lookalike competition. That's all like complete knobbery. How many fingers does Paul McCartney have on his left hand?
4?
Yeah, he does.
Absolutely right.
Same as every fucker on earth, basically, apart from a few unfortunate people.
Who first introduced Paul McCartney to marijuana? It's
John Lennon.
Oh no, it's not. It was
Close.
Dylan.
And finally, who told Paul he was all pizza and fairy tales?
Linda McCartney.
John Lennon.
Oh, I just said John Lennon for the last answer. I was going to say it again as well, bastard.
You got 0 out of.
Well, you got 1. You got Paul McCartney's real name.
Oh, that is true. Paul McCartney. Well, he did get 2. He got 2. He got 2.
Not bad. 2 out of 10.
Got 2.
And that is how well.
You
Paul
got me.
knows Paul
I was trying to
McCartney.
think. It was the Quarry. What, Quarry Boys or something?
Was that before?
Quarry Men. That was before, before the Beatles. They hadn't found Ringo. Hey, John, we need somebody who can't really play the drums very well. I know a guy called Ringo. He's not very good. He says
Yeah,
lots
everyone
of
was
shit
upset.
all the time.
All their diehard fans were upset, weren't they? But then he just went, and they all went, "Oh, fine."
Do you think? Because there's that famous question, isn't there, at the interview, which isn't actually true. He didn't say that. There's John Lennon quote, which is, do you think Ringo Starr is the best drummer in the world? And John Lennon said, "He's not even the best drummer in the Beatles." But that's not true. He didn't actually say that. It was like somebody in like 1982 on the radio said it. I've got blisters on my fingers, and that's the end of the quiz.
Yeah. So that was great. That went tremendously well.
I liked it because I liked it more that Paul didn't know the answers. That made it.
I liked that the first question was a trick question, which sort of threw you completely off your game because the way it's worded, it makes it sound like it's not Liverpool. But it was Liverpool. Right, new stuff. Oh, do you guys have the feed up? Can you see YouTube on?
Paul could see YouTube on Telecam.
Can you see it? Can you see the show via YouTube? Excellent. Let me pull up the slideshow of new stuff. It'd be interesting to know how many people got right in chat of the Paul McCartney quiz. In hindsight, it would have been virtually impossible for you to know his net worth.
Yes.
Can you guys see the vapes yet?
Yeah, I can. Oh, fucking hell. Yeah, I can.
What is that shit?
That was my initial reaction.
Okay, so this is a new one from Joytech. This is the EVO box.
Does that not look like that? And the UL one, the Oxy thing.
Yeah. Yeah, basically it's like a little tiny pod jobby like that, but they've put it in a bigger battery, haven't they? Really. I suppose it's fine. I mean, it's pocket friendly. A bit uninspiring, but I mean, it is.
It really reminds me of that. What was that piece of crap people put around the necks for about a week? Reminds me of that.
Oh yeah.
It's the name EVO box right in the middle of it just annoys me. Maybe it's going to have interchangeable panels like the UL one.
I bet they haven't thought of that. Yeah, so not super inspiring, but it's nice to see Joytech aren't dead, because that's about the first product they've released in 2 years.
They just released. Well, I never got one, but they released that box mod with the built-in battery. Remember the big 5,000 mAh? Was it the
all right
iPower 2 or something?
Oh right, yeah.
But they never. I remember
they're very quiet compared to when they used to release a product a week.
I remember the first iPower one. Do you remember the one that came out looked like what was it called? Mine was orange with the black stripes.
The one
Mustang.
that really did well with like hobbyist circles was like the eVic, wasn't it?
eVic, that's it. eVic VTC, I think it was called.
Yeah.
I loved that, the big yellow.
Yeah.
Also,
Yeah,
Stuart Drummond remembered what I was talking about. I was talking about the MyPod. Do you remember? I think we all got given one. I got given one at Vape, one of the Vape events. And I remember trying it because everyone had got one and just being, this is shit. Another piece of shit.
Yeah, it sort of had a little sort of trendy vibe to it. This is a new tank that Mark Todd is showing off. This is the Gambit RTA.
Oh yeah, he got it. Didn't he get it like today?
Hot off the press. It's a very pretty looking tank. High-end-ish, European-ish, I think, from Spain.
Yes, from Spain.
And very nice.
The way he'd written it reminded me of Manuel from Fawley Towers.
Is this one of these tanks where you go on a Facebook group and you wait 6 months to get accepted, and then you need to beg for?
You have to be married to the sister of the guy that made it.
Yeah, and then you pay 500 quid to get on a waiting list.
That's basically all the tanks in my collection, Paul.
Apparently, you need to join the Hood Facebook group for more details. But wait for this review, perhaps, or whatever. It looks very nice. I'll be interested to see what its USP is. It says it's definitely mouth to lung, which is interesting.
I like the fact it's got a low bell rather than that.
Yes, low bell, which is good for mouth to lung, and it's
like a gun barrel at the top, isn't it?
Yeah.
I don't like the tip.
I don't like the top of it either. I think it looks.
True. I like that it's got a big capacity.
Yeah, and I like seeing. To be fair, I like seeing new middly high-end tanks. I just do because they
It looks like it's 22mm, which is good.
Yeah.
You might have this one, Paul. Geek Vape have done like a new thing, the G18 Smart Pen. Have you got this?
Don't work with Geek Vape. Never have.
Oh, that's a shame. Be interesting to see what that's like. But it's a completely bog standard e-cigarette. If you were going to ask a 11-year-old to draw one, this is what it looked like. Vape pen, if you like. So they've got that doing the rounds. We showed this last week. I think it was a render. This might be a render as well. I'm not sure. But what this picture does show of this new e-leaf mod, the size. We were debating its size last week, I think. The e-leaf Mini iStick 2. Look, it compared to the top of a phone. Look how tiny it look. So like it's literally only going to be that long. Like literally
less than that long.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
Yeah, so it's going. It's lit. Yeah, so it's tiny.
You know the thing is, they'll give you a 0.2 ohm coil that needs 50 watts.
Yeah, we got it in 10 seconds.
You vape charge.
Your face, such disgust. I really liked it. Just one big lug hit and
It
then
is a problem
red
with
light
the small
and then
stuff, isn't it?
Well, it doesn't. The thing is, but you can like, Paul, you're like you
Or it'll be
You're
a
higher
1.8 ohm coil, but it'll have massive airflow.
Yeah. Yeah, we're one of the other.
It just lasts ages. I've never got. 1 ohm's enough for me, or like 0.8 or something, or 0.7. Lasts all fucking day. The battery. I don't have to fuck about with it all the time.
If they nail the whole high ohm, low wattage aspect, it'll probably be okay.
Yeah.
And it's a proper mod. It's got a proper screen. It's got a proper 510. So it's a thing. And it is. Looking at that picture, it really is as small as we thought it was. It is tiny. This is blowing up on the socials big time. Me and John have even mentioned this in chat this week. The Zlim from Oxford. Have you got one of these, Paul?
No.
This is. I knew Oxford were up to something because they'd gone very quiet, and that's what they do before a new product release.
Oh, I'd try to avoid doing pods now.
Yes, it's slightly more than just your bog
Oh
standard
yeah,
pod.
it's something.
It's got a screen. It's got variable wattage.
I honestly thought you were making stuff up when you said we were talking about it in chat.
Coils.
I was thinking, no, we weren't.
No, we did talk about
Yeah,
it.
we did. No, and then I saw it and I was like, yeah, no, we did, because I read what's the review, because Mr. Tuttleton's done it, hasn't it?
What does he say? It's good vape.
Yeah, I can't quite get over the look of it. I hate the hard mouthpiece thing. I just don't like it.
I like the mouthpiece.
But you've got to compromise somewhere, haven't you? At least you
Yeah,
can
but
check. At least you can take the coils out like a normal tank.
But you could take the coils out on 400 other versions that are exactly the same.
If
I'd
this vapes
take
as well
this
as the
down
stuff
the
they've
pub.
already brought out.
I would take
think
that
it'd be
down the
alright.
But I do like the fact that it's got I like the fact it's got a board in it. I do like that. I think that's something.
And
I like
their
having
coils have
those.
been excellent so far with the other stuff they brought out.
Yeah. I'd try one, definitely.
I think it'd be a really good starter device. I really do.
Yeah, it's really hard. I know they've got the new wireless out. I'm thinking of buying some and selling them on Just Had Nick these, because I just think it's
The
great.
Whirls.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
I was thinking about just buying some.
The new one. The new
Showing
one that
off.
they've just done.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, the coils. It's all about the
Because
coils.
I think. Do you agree with this, Paul? I was trying to see. I think a really good starter device and a really good pub mod are exactly the same thing.
100%.
I would take this down the pub
Yeah.
any day, no problem at all.
I would happily take this little jammy down the pub.
It's the same, isn't it? If you've got a decent starter kit and a decent pub mod, same thing. And I just thought everybody
I
could do
often
one.
take this.
Yeah, so I might just stick some on the site and then just
Don't
knock
want
them
it.
out for like a few quid profit, but not a lot.
If you lose it, you don't care. You're getting a tighter draw. You're getting your tobacco probably if you're needing it. When you drink, that's the biggest thing. You crave a cigarette for me. Drinking in there after a steak, I still crave it.
Yeah.
I've got rid of mine. I'm
No,
not. Yeah, I'm not. That is the one to stop, isn't it? The smoke. But I think the other thing is we're not all sanctimonious pricks. Like we did a story last week where people were moaning about people smoking it outside. Fuck off. I haven't smoked in fucking 9 years, but I don't care if someone else wants a fact. It's fine. calm down. And that thing of, oh my God, it stinks. Fucking Jesus, what doesn't stink? That fucking back big girl over there with Charlie on. She fucking stinks. Get her fuck off.
That big guy at the bar that's sweating, stinking at VO because it's 100 degrees.
He's covered it up with a bit of fucking Lynx
like
Africa.
This COVID table service trend.
I do. You can take shit to the bar. They don't have to stand up. I like it.
I do quite like that. I mean, they've been doing that in Europe for 15 years.
Yeah.
I think it'll continue though.
No, because I was in a pub the other day and they were well
change,
chuffed to get rid of it. Just going, fuck, what do you want? I was thinking, this to stay. I really like it.
The next one is an RDA. This has slipped through our net. It's been out a little bit. This is the Geek Vape Z RDA. Interesting looking Z. I think it's following on from the whole Zeus thing. There's a picture of Zeus on it. But it's the it's the Z RDA from Geek Vape. Got a deck.
Top airflow. Does he get a deck? Well, obviously, it's got a deck. Have you got a picture of the deck?
Yes, this is this picture here. It's kind of two raised posts, a bit unusual. I guess the air is meant to go through that hole that's left.
Oh, that's a look, isn't it?
It's a weird deck, actually. But essentially, it's sort of Dead Rabbit-esque. You just stick the two coils on.
I say Dead Rabbit-esque, yeah.
That top cap's fucking horrible.
Might be alright. Yeah, it's not. It's a weird looking thing. The airflow on it's weird. I don't understand how the air gets from the top to the coils, unless there's something clever in the actual cap. Because the coils aren't as the airflow is much higher than the coils will be. Looking at those pictures, so I don't know if they've got a way of ramping it down or something, but I don't know. Another RTA from Mark Todd has just put a review up for this. The Def 1 RTA by Core Designs, and that is a handsome tank. It's like a knurled K-Fun. Can you guys see that one?
Not yet.
Def 1 RTA by Core Designs. It's very, very. I think it's really handsome, but I haven't had a chance to check out the review.
Oh, sorry. Yes, I don't mind that. That's nice.
So go and check that out.
We're going backwards in style, aren't they? Like, which
say,
I quite like.
We're going back to 22s now, aren't we?
Yeah.
I like 22s, especially in a tank. I don't see the point in 20.
Well, the higher end often
tank.
fill the gap that's ignored, don't they?
Yeah.
And it's not many low wattage RTAs coming out of China, so the high end have jumped back in, haven't they?
Can you imagine a 28mm Reaper? I know John's in the chat, Mr. Evil. 28mm.
He was. He's just knocked himself out on the wall. Fuck off.
He's done a tiny one. The next logical step is a massive one.
20, 24, 25, 27mm, whatever. The dual coil airflow beast. I don't think you're gonna get that. Probably throwing his chair at the telly now.
It doesn't even vape Nick, does he, John?
Does he not?
No.
He's a lovely guy though. He
likes the flavours. Oh yeah, and watching British producers produce stuff, I just think it's so important that it keeps happening. I'm always chuffed to see it happen.
So that is the new stuff this week.
Oh, stop fucking yawning. I'm so tired. Look at that.
It's because you've been watching the football till the wee hours.
I was not happy that it went on for longer.
An extra half an hour.
Yeah. Fucking hell.
That was 2 nights in a row.
Yeah.
It's a shame too, because both games were actually quite good. They were quite good to watch despite being draws. But I mean, it's if you're not a football fan, I mean that is taking up all your.
My wife didn't watch the Italy-Spain, but she watched the England one. But I just. Yeah. It's really funny that people get that. I think you've got the same thing up in Scotland. There's the problem with the difference between patriotism and nationalism. I think is a very thin Rizzler paper of things. You're like, yeah, no, I'm patriotic. Are you nationalist? No. No one wants to be that. It's not a good thing. I made a joke a little while ago, a video where I was walking down the road. Somebody's got an England flag sticking out their window down our road, and I pretend to only just spot it. And it says on the screen, gammon alert. And then I go, and it goes to football's on. Right, that was a joke. Because otherwise you live near a dickhead. Because if that was just like December, you'd be like, what? What the fuck? Well, you live in Scotland, people might hang fucking... Do they hang St Andrew's crosses up outside and shit?
No, I don't think so.
Good.
Yeah,
I think that's reasonable.
it sort of brings out the best and the worst in us, doesn't it? I think.
It does everything. We've got the Olympics next, and both of us. I don't mind watching the Olympics. The horse shit. I don't care about. I don't understand why that's part of the Olympics. That can fuck off. Dancing
Wow.
horses is stupid.
I don't know.
You're never going to get the best person in the world, are you? Because you just can't. Because no one's got a fucking horse. There's not a lad on a council stage
It's
with a
not
fucking
that far
horse.
removed from a freak show, though, is it? As well.
What, the horse thing?
No, the Olympics, like who can jump the furthest, who can jump the highest. What is it? A circus?
If you ever want to really,
It is a weird way of looking at it. There enough, it is. You know, I'm going to run and jump over this bar that's 300 feet high, and I've been training for it all my life. You're like, well, what did you achieve by doing that?
You're going to need a really long pole. Got one.
thank goodness you said that. I didn't know what to do with it.
I think
Or
the
a
boxing
trampoline.
and things like that.
Trampolining.
But there's a place for like boxing and.
I see. I disagree because if
I
you're
mean, Mayweather came from that, didn't he? So Amir Khan, that's what he made. his...
Amateur boxing.
Amir
It's
Khan
it's
was
nice
not
that
a good
amateur
boxer.
Sport, it's nice that amateur sport has a pinnacle, I suppose, because like amateur boxing, the pinnacle is the Olympics. I'm trying to think.
It's
of another
such a
example.
hard transition.
But the
because
other
like,
problem is like highly professional sports have an Olympic. Like, why does tennis need to be at Olympics?
I've no
Tennis
idea.
already has its pinnacle, doesn't it?
Football as well.
Golf,
I mean,
golf.
we need another football. Is
Yeah,
golf in the Olympics as well?
I think they added it. Yeah.
they the Olympic boxing things always been, like Amir Khan had so many huge fucking faults in being a professional fighter. He couldn't keep his fucking hands in front of his fucking face, and that's why he's shit. That's why he was always going to be bad. But he's the bookie's favourite because you can just get him past. You just put him against people past their fucking sell-by date or they're a bit shit, and then he gets there, and then everybody backs him in the fight, and he gets this shit kicked out because he can't keep his hands in front of his fucking face.
He was
Like
a good,
Audley.
he was a good amateur.
Yeah, he just couldn't keep his hands up. It's like Audley was exactly the same, just waiting for someone to paste him, and that absolutely kicked the shit out of Audley Harrison. And everyone was expecting it because he's not Nigel Benn, he's not Chris
Yeah,
Eubank,
there is
he's
different.
not that good.
But I don't mind that. I don't mind amateur proper sports with Olympics. But, the professional thing's weird, I think.
Yeah, I do. But as I say, the horse. I remember when my wife was at uni, we kind of I used to go up and visit her, and she'd got the day off in the week, and I'd got the day off in the week, and we sat and watched the Olympics. And it was the day they did that horse dancing bullshit, where the horses are like, like literally. You're like, what the fuck are you doing?
Did Andy Murray not win Wimbledon and then win the Olympics?
Yeah.
I mean, that's a little bit stupid. That, you know.
He's been offered a place at this coming Olympics.
I mean, the Olympics is supposed to be the starting point, then you go to be professional.
Weird, isn't it?
You don't just go out, you know what, today I'm going to be an Olympian. People train all their lives.
There's something quite good about
it. It is weird.
Andy Murray's fantastically dry and very just won't take any shit. Did you see the interview where somebody said, you know, how do you feel being the first tennis player to be at Wimbledon X amount of times or something like that? And he went, male. And they went, sorry? And he went, male. Talking about Venus Williams. It's just like, what the fuck are you on about, you stupid cunt? This is ridiculous. You're going to ignore one of the basically the greatest tennis player that's ever lived. I mean, it's fucking absolutely mental.
Yeah, I saw that.
He's not going to take
There's
that.
some really good clips of him. Yeah, I really like him.
I think he's a decent person.
One of Britain's best ever sports people.
Oh, he's British now, is he? I thought he was Scottish.
He is British.
If he wins,
Unless he's at Indie Ref 2, he's British.
It's just he's like when he's British when he's winning, and then when he loses, it's sadness for the Scot.
Yeah, I know exactly what you mean, but I'm a huge fan.
Krilko's made a very good point in chat. Rowing, not exactly accessible either. I agree. We didn't do a lot of that at high school.
Well,
There was no.
Yeah, but again, that is a sport that does need a pinnacle.
Yeah, but you're not gonna.
Because there's a
You're
lot
never
of
gonna get the
sports that
best
just
rower
don't
in the
have
world.
like world traction, like badminton and.
There's probably some.
You know, the
there's
ball that you throw.
Girl shot put.
Yeah, I mean, what was that? But
I used to do that. Was my thing on
we did
sports
that
day.
at school.
Yeah, but I chose that. There was a really good reason. On sports day, I would choose it every year. They would have to test out who could do it, and in the run up, you'd throw it, and they'd go, "Yeah, okay." So for my form, I would be the male shot putter And every year they forgot what it was that I was going to do. And I'd get there on the day and they go, oh, John's going to chop up. And then as soon as I stood in the circle, they suddenly remembered what was about to happen. They'd go, yeah, John's going to do it. And then I'd stand there at the ball and I'd go, and they'd go, whoa, and I'd throw it and they'd go, way, my form, way. And then they'd go, oh my God, I did it 4 years in a row. Stepped out the circle at the front and you get disqualified. And then I could just sit down and have a fag at the end of the field. I never was going to do shit. I wasn't going to take the next 2 throws. I didn't care. So I just stepped out the front of the circle, got disqualified, and then sat my arse a fag.
It's the mad stupid hop they make you do. You'll just let me throw the damn ball. I'll get it. But no, you need to clip your heel and pop up and push it up and all that bollocks. You're like, just use the ball and I'll throw it.
Andy Fairchild, by the way, does say that he is British. He's a British tennis player, like David Coulthard and Jackie Stewart.
I mean,
British.
You can have those two if you want. I'm not particularly worried about those two. Yeah. Skateboarding, Johan asked. I believe it is, yeah. I believe there are several X Games style events at the Olympics now as well.
Mick Blizzard says poetry used to be in the Olympics many moons ago.
Yeah,
I know.
So did nudity.
I know a gold medal poem because it was written on the inside of a toilet door. There was a young man called Dave who kept a dead whore in a cave. He said with a grunt, I know I'm a cunt, but think of the money I'll save. That was gold medal, that one.
Definitely. So that's the Olympics. There was one other vaping item this week. It might have even been today, I'm not sure. But Vaping Vic, the Scottish reviewer, friend of the show, he has... he was going to, according to this, he was going to be doing an RTA with Hell Vape. Oh, this is on the screen if you want to see the thing, chaps.
I've got it.
Yeah, so he was going to do an RTA with Hell Vape called the Wolver. But they decided to bin it because it had little innovation. And that's on the left. That on the left of your screen, that's that one, the one that the prototype that he had that they binned, and then on the right is Hell Vape's latest RTA that they actually are bringing out. So they cancelled his, and they're bringing out this one, and I think
they're not similar.
He's upset.
That rabbit on that? Are they calling it the dead rabbit?
It has got the little rabbit icon. I don't know the name of this one though.
But there's like a reversed bell at the top, isn't there? And then it isn't. I mean, that I don't know.
He's upset that potentially they sort of pinched his ideas and dumped him.
But made it look good. Is that the problem?
Well, the one on the left is a prototype.
Right. I can't see how that they're similar because of the added.
Holes. It's got 2 airflow levels.
Four holes, bit of glass.
Oh, okay. Yes, split airflow. Yeah, fair enough.
So, looking at the picture, are both of those air holes then? There's the cycloptic airflow at the bottom, and then halfway up, are they both air intakes? Is that right?
There is a difference on the chimney, isn't there? Is the chimney inverted? There's like an inverted valve on the chimney, isn't there? On the right-hand one.
The one on the left reminds me of steam.
It's really hard to tell with that bullshit fake steam picture.
I know, because it's like a render, I think.
Yeah.
The one on the left reminds me of Steam Crave.
I was going to say, it does look like the aromatizer, doesn't it?
It does look like the aromatizer.
I mean, I'd maybe not push it too much because that one on the left looks almost like a rip-off as well.
And I think I've got. Oh, hang on. So yeah, I've got another picture. Oh no. Oh, so this is what he sort of said on his Facebook page about the Wolver has a bayonet push and twist mechanism to lock the deck into the tank.
That's not new.
Which apparently this new Hell Vape tank has, both 28mm.
Okay.
It included pics of the prototype that we've just looked at. They've changed the airflow on the deck to slots just to make it that little bit different. Yeah, but yeah, he's upset. He's upset with it. It's they've put there was little innovation, is what they accused of his tank, and that was what they were worried about. And then they brought out very, very similar one anyway, and so he's saying, well, I don't know.
The bayonet fitted deck's not new though. I mean, that's just not new.
Yeah, it's always the same thing, isn't it? It's a jigsaw puzzle of components that you put together, and that combination might be quite new. I think it's a bit of a tricky one because I think it's a tricky situation because the tank that they sent him wasn't his design anyway.
Oh, okay, right.
He jumped on board with loads of ideas, and then it was going to become his tank.
Right.
All right. Well, what's the problem then if they've designed a tank anyway?
So I think it's a bit. Ultimately, unless there's some sort of contract, then I'm afraid they can do what they want, can't they?
If Vic's designed this tank and sent it to Hellvape have said that is shit, and then they make it, that's terrible. And I really feel sorry for Vic. Yeah. But if Hellvape have designed a tank, sent it to Vic for feedback, he's maybe suggested a few things and then sent it to Hellvape, and Hellvape have said, "Nah, we're patching it and then bring it out later." Then I don't know. I mean, what? Yeah,
I mean, if they
design,
if it was literally Vic's drawings, and they made a tank without him off the back of those drawings, then that's one thing. But like you say, if basically they just might not have rated his feedback that much, if they didn't think his feedback was enough to justify him getting a cut of every sale, then it's just one of those things, really, isn't it?
And the other thing is, in every industry,
I mean, we know vaping's a pretty unscrupulous world.
Yeah. Not only that, is that it's so difficult. Sometimes somebody will send you something, like even when a new liquid's out, sometimes there are changes that are made that are nothing there's no. I'm not going to name anybody publicly, but somebody will send me something, and there'll be something that's just slightly off, and because I know them and I've worked with them, and I'll say, do you like the way it does that? Do you like that bit? Because personally, I think that could be taken down a bit and that could be brought up. But what do you reckon? And then they come back to me. But that's why, because they're working with me, and there's a working relationship. That's a really tough bit. Is whether you add any value to a product is another thing entirely, isn't it?
I mean, she's a YouTube reviewer, which Vic is. I mean, Mr. Evil himself sent me the Reaper, and one of my things was I'd love it to include a drip tip. Now, the RAF includes a drip tip. Does that mean the RAF is a vape don't smoke design?
Yeah.
£5 for every sale, Mr. Evil. But I mean, a YouTube reviewer is to point out things that they would change. That's what we do. We say, if Hellvape send me a tank and I review it and say, you know what, I wish the airflow was bigger. I wish that the wicking ports were bigger. I wish it was a 510. I wish it was a 22. And then next week they bring out exactly what I've said. That doesn't make it a vape don't smoke tank. That's just me ranting.
It's and the other thing is, it's so difficult to tell from those pictures and what's been said. I think I don't know. I have no idea. I don't know who's done what. I don't know where the argument.
If he continues to be upset about it, maybe when he gets his hands on the real new one that's coming out, and maybe he can share all his emails and correspondence, and then show it against pictures of the new thing versus the prototype he still has or whatever.
Then where's that? Yeah, it's difficult, isn't it? But
then
where's
we'll
the
know
point
more, I guess. But
I mean, if they have to do them, then it's really unfair because we'd need to see more. But I mean, Vic, he probably is quite confident because he probably wouldn't have posted that if he didn't feel it was right.
We'll see.
English.
We'll see what happens. But this is is an unfortunate side effect of the industry, isn't it?
John at EVL has said in English it's called a wraith, like a ghost. I don't understand that. Have I got that right?
Yeah, because we keep calling it the RAF.
I don't.
He's moaning at my accent again. He does it all the time. Don't worry.
Oh, okay. Right. Sorry, I was going to say I can fucking read. I know what that says.
He's just giving me a hard time, so he is, because that's what he does.
Good man. So I get it.
It's one of those.
Ever since I said that it should include a drip tip,
he was like, I'm going to send it. He used to be in the Beatles. I love the Beatles. See what he says about it. And then he was like, fuck, different guy. Fuck. Like, that can happen.
I'd love to meet him, but he always says, you might have already met me.
Yeah, he's done that to me. He has met me. I've met him at Vape Jam, but I didn't know it was him. Yeah.
He always says that. He goes like, I keep myself secret,
You have to come out drinking, and I was going to say we'll come out drinking. We all put our phone in a basket. Then I realised you sound like swinging. Doesn't mean that.
That does, yeah. That's kind of a swinging effort. That, yeah.
I said that I went. My one of my friends works security at Swingers in London, which is a indoor golf place, which is really good. And I said to my dad, "That's a great place on Oxford Street. It's called Swingers." And he went, and I went, "Not like that." I said, "It's like a indoor golf, and you can have beer and tacos and stuff like that." And he went, "I wouldn't have called it that." Like they didn't know. Like you went, "Hi, it's at Swingers." Yeah, I don't know if you know Swingers means something else. Does it? Yeah, Google it. Oh my god! Yeah, exactly. Yeah, my dad noticed it. All right, thanks. Bye. What the fuck? It's
I've always wanted to try one of those actually.
What, with the indoor golf thing?
Yeah, the same. You know, it's where you hit it against the screen, isn't it?
No. This is an indoor crazy golf.
Oh, crazy golf!
Like just putting.
It's like putting, but they've kind of gone really stupid with it. Like, so
I thought you meant one of those simulators.
it's like animation and stuff like that. Not animation, like it's kind of like like a big wheel and all this shit. But the thing is, there's no kids allowed. So there's no fucking annoying screaming little bastards running everywhere. And there's like 3 bars. So you don't have to give a shit about that. And nothing's broken because kids aren't like horrible little
really
shitty
weird.
kids, aren't there? It's not.
That's really.
I really
weird.
like the idea of that.
Do you think you will get, and well, we're talking about meeting up and getting a beer, do you think we'll get an expo soon?
I think so.
There's
Hopefully.
been rumours actually. There has been some rumours.
I'm definitely
Of the
going.
November one.
November? Oh, that would be brilliant.
I just want to get out and do one of the events really.
Yes.
Do you ever think about getting a wee stall, John?
No, cause they're just doesn't work for me at all. But I can talking to other contacts who kind of say Mark Dolan, who's doing some wicked liquids. He made nothing. He just was there the whole weekend, made nothing, and all he got was like people going, "Yeah, right, mate, I've got Instagram with like 18 followers, got YouTube, it's got like 100. Can I have some free liquid?" And him being like, "No, fuck off." Like that was like the whole weekend. Like, and
Really?
he did more money on the trade day on the Friday than he did sell any products. And then he did Vape Fest that same year and did 10 times that. Dolan came to us at the Ideal Vape meet, and he made more money with us in a pub in Kings Lynn than he did at Vape Expo. You know, and he paid sort of $5,000 to do it. It's just not worth it.
How much is it to get a stall at Expo?
So they get lower and lower and lower as it gets closer. They gotta go, "Yeah, you can have it 50p." Well, but it's no point. And you get some great people though. Evolution do so well because they're a wholesaler and they just do it like they're perfect. And if you've got the setup to do it, I think it's great. And I really enjoy doing it because I like seeing these twonks in the chat and sitting in pubs with them and just enjoying the atmosphere.
Now I'm just thinking of kids' activities where you could remove the kids.
What, make it fun? Laser Quest, fucking amazing. No kids.
There is kids at Laser Quest.
No. But if you could, if you could, I thought.
Yeah, I was thinking bouncers.
Yeah,
Just have a massive like bounce castle or something.
Yeah, that works. One of those Kids Kingdom type places. It'd be a great time. Just no kids because they're the annoying bit. They piss and stuff.
Basketball with the trampolines everywhere.
Yeah, have you thought the noise in there? We went. If it was my goddaughter's birthday, and we went to
Soft play.
Yeah, exactly. We went to one of those bounce places, and the noise is off the chart. And my friend was like, "You're gonna have a go on a trampoline?" It's like, I'm 38. I won't be able to work for the rest of the week if I put my neck out. No, I don't want to go on a fucking trampoline. And I turned around and my wife's like, "Woo!"
Yeah, spot. We went to one actually. I think it was called Inflate a Nation. Let me check. Yes.
Yeah, but the thing,
Inflator Nation, inflatable theme park. We went to. There's one opened up near us. I didn't bother, but it looked good.
My friends had a bouncy castle in their garden for a Halloween party once, and it was like, it was like a normal party, adult like party thing. And my wife took 3 jumps on it, fell over sideways. When you're a kid, that doesn't really matter. When you're an adult, you're not. She had 10 days off work because she tore the muscle in the side of her neck. And you're like, why did you do it? Like, as soon as she saw the bouncy castle, she was like, shoes off, God. And then like 2 minutes later, she was back again. I don't know if I've done something. And then for 10 days, she couldn't look left or right. She's doing that one. I couldn't even take the piss because it looked really painful.
That's all we've got time for, though.
Slides, swimming pools, no kids.
That's all we've got time for this evening. Thanks to Paul for coming on. Thanks for watching.
Pleasure. Thanks for having me, guys.
Go over to www.justadnick.org.uk and buy some stuff. That'd be great. I'm gonna start.
He means people.
Just other people. I'm going to start putting on things that I think are good drinking vapes. I'm going to start putting them on, and I will not screw you over on the prices as well. So, and they're going to come on too. And so it'll be stuff that works and not shit. No potty shit.
And remember, we will next be on a Wednesday. So try to remember that.
I will say, Krilko's just came up with a brilliant one. Gigantic ball pit for adults only.
Yeah, fill a swimming pool with the balls.
Yeah, done.
No kids. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you again soon, but it'll be a Wednesday. Bye.
Guys, thank you.
Thanks, Bob.